Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a stream sending end of season, end of the year stream. I think that tagline, we said it all. It's the same tagline we use for the stream starting soon screen, basically. But in reality, it definitely goes around saying almost everything that we're trying to convey here, right? So, I think that summarizes it. This is the end of the year, the beginning of a new one. End of 2023, entering 2024. And the game that we decided to play to honor this particular occasion is none other than Sword Art Online Last Recollection. A game that we have been playing throughout these past few days, one that we have thoroughly enjoyed considerably, especially the battle system has been very intriguing, very interesting, albeit with some setbacks or a couple of things that feel lacking throughout the gameplay. I feel I'm still quite enjoying it, right? So, I think my biggest drawback, my biggest setback with the game thus far is that the environment is a little crammed. I have mentioned it before on the streams a couple of times, but I feel the corridors are just too narrow and many of the battles occur there. So we like to do our acrobatic session and feel rather limited sometimes when we start crashing against the rocks and the environment, and the crevices are abundant in these very narrow pathways that we usually have to traverse. Thus, that being our biggest critique of the execution that has been done. Moreover, I can't still help but to be, what's the word? When you gearing for something, gearingful, I guess. I have to be gearingful for magic system, or rather to be slightly more similar to an MMO, or slightly more accurate. No, I wouldn't say accurate to depict what at the very least we have found in other massive multiplayer online games. But I've come to an idea. What if Sword Art Online itself is not that much based on an MMO, and instead it is based on a single player game that the character Kirito interprets or understands or visualizes as an MMO. I don't know, I guess I just came up with that, and it feels like it may be on point, because the game itself feels so much like a single player game more than an MMO. But I don't think the TV show one feels much like a single player game, and instead does give that MMO sensation. I think both materials greatly diverge at many points. Not for the bad, not for the worse, not for the better, not for the best either, but not for something too bad, right? It's each of them are their own things, and I think we have been enjoying this one particularly. I just feel that my biggest drawback has been on the environment, right? On the traversing of the maps. It doesn't give me that. I don't know. I mentioned it on the last stream. I am also particularly not a very big fan of slopes and terrain that is not plain. So whenever I'm traversing or crossing a valley, I can't help but to feel anxiety or at unease, because I particularly prefer to go walking into plain terrain, right? Even on Mabinogi, which had mostly plain, but occasional change in the topography, I still felt that I would have preferred to go for a walk in a plain surface, but that may be just me. Anyways, that was regarding the game, but there is much to be enjoyed on the story mode, on the commentaries being done by how the story is being evolved or delivered, and where it seems to be taking us, and all of the commentaries. There's a lot to be had in this game. So I'm a little regretful or mournful that we only were planning to play it on these particular 2 days, because even though it is a very emblematic moment, we assume or made plans for there not to be more than just 2 streams, right? One for the end of the year, one for the beginning of the year, which is exactly what we have managed to do. But now we are going to be playing some other games in between, so that we can have some variety shuffle throughout the channel, and thus I am at the moment uncertain as to when we are going to be returning to Sword Art Online Last Recollection. I don't think it's going to be all that far off, because we technically have already made up our mind to make it our main game to be played for a while. I wouldn't say until we finish it, but I definitely feel that at the very least one extra gameplay session is going to be happening real soon. Yes, I honestly feel that's reasonable for how our channel is structured and organized, right? Our videos are structured and organized. Thus, I am fairly certain that if you are enjoying Sword Art Online Last Recollection, you will not be disappointed and may be likely to receive another season, or maybe not a whole season, because this was fully dedicated to Sword Art Online, but we are likely to be having at least a shared season in the nearby future, where we will be playing and revisiting more of Sword Art Online Last Recollection. So yeah, as mentioned, this was a game that we decided to play because it holds very dear and near to our heart. It has been one of the biggest inspiration into bringing us back to the world of MMOs, and more than MMOs, to be able to partake into this virtual world with a spirit more immersive spirit. In other words, thanks to anime series like Sword Art Online and Tower of Druaga, I feel we have been able to further expand on a couple of concepts that we have been grasping before that, but that have been made more clear when watching those anime series, which is to habit the virtual world, not just go through the games, not just pay a visit, although that's sometimes what we do, but to actually get immersed and habit into the virtual reality that we are entering, right? So hopefully we have been able to do it, even though I feel Sword Art Online hasn't been giving us much in the sense of life skilling, as opposed to games like Mabinogi and RuneScape, which allow you to partake into more menial tasks or mundane tasks, or true to our knowledge, kind of less fantastic or fantasy inclined tasks, which serve somewhat of a purpose, which, as I mentioned, they allow you to get a little more immersed into the world, right? And over here, not even fishing. Now that I remember, I haven't played previous Sword Art Online games, but I'm quite sure that Alicization Licorice had fishing, and if my memory serves me right, the question and answer session mentioned that they were not going to be having fishing. That's kind of off-putting, right? I don't know. They focus their game on something different, if you ask me. It's not bad, but it is slightly away from that very premise of Sword Art Online, the way we are mentioning it. Nevertheless, we have been enjoying the battle considerably, and we are hoping to be seeing more of these stronger enemies, or at least enemies that can hold their defense a little further, that does not necessarily holding their attack a little harder, or having them hitting so much on us. Hitting them us so much, not hitting on us, hitting them us. Hitting us so much. Yeah, I don't think I pronounced any of those things right. Well, anyways, the point being that they hit hard and usually don't have much defense, but some of the best battles that we have been finding are with enemies that actually have high defense and low attack, or lower attack. Hopefully we're able to find more battles like that. Two particular battles that we managed to do and enjoyed a lot were battles against anthropomorphic figures of equal proportions to our characters. Or very similar. We enjoy them a lot, but at the same time we notice why they aren't all that much more common. It's because it's kind of difficult to differentiate your characters from the other characters, I guess. But anyways, I guess we will be finding out more things in this game, because I think they have been doing a very good job at changing the pace. So many things have been feeling different from one another in a certain kind of way, right? And we have been given a couple of somewhat long sessions, yet still haven't felt like we're reaching end content, which is good. As the longer the game is, the better, in my opinion. The only thing that got me concerned was finding out a weapon that was 3 stars out of 6, and that was the only moment that I felt, oh, could we be closing into the ending, which is something that I personally don't want. So yeah, we're hoping that the game stretches for longer, but I'm not sure after seeing that 3 star out of 6, whilst we didn't even need to do like a very, very difficult battle to get it. So it's concerning. But anyways, I think I'm digressing. The point being that the game has its good points and its weak points, in my personal opinion. but overall a very enjoyable experience, and one that is potentially incremented because of our personal love for the franchise and of the whole concept, right? Anyways, I want to thank everybody for joining on our sessions and throughout the whole year. So, like mentioned, this is not just a Sword Art Online Last Recollection session, it is also the end of 2023 and the start of 2024. And I want to thank each and every one of the members of the community for being with us through all this time and participating, collaborating, helping out, providing support. I certainly hope that our community continues to strive? No, is it thrive? Yeah. Our community continues to thrive throughout this upcoming year, and with it, that all of our members remain with us loyal as usual, and that all of us together are able to provide for the creative content that we long for and that we hope is enjoyable by not just us but other participants. Without anything else to add at this particular time, I bid you farewell, hoping to see each and every one of you at a later date and to continue our conversations. It will be until then. Bye now, and welcome to a brand new year.